Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Guardian presenting Fighter's History, and this is on the Geo AES, as you can tell from the logo. The Geo is a max 330 Mega Pro Gear spec system by SNK, whatever that means. This game is for use in Japan only. That's not true because I'm playing the European version, and it's by Data East. I'm playing the European cart on a Japanese system, maybe that's where the confusion lies. This is a man who is basically a human triangle with a thumb head. He's pointing at you, the viewer, and with his index finger in a very threatening manner. So you better clean up your act, watch yourself, be careful now. This is a fighting game. Which is actually just like Street Fighter 2. It's like the closest to Street Fighter 2 you're going to get on your Neo Geo. So if you like fighting games and you like Street Fighter 2, but you only owned a Neo Geo, this is the game to go for. And it's Fighter's History Dynamite. It's got an extra little moniker there. It's quite a difficult game to get into. The AI is fairly unforgiving. And the character designs, as you can see, are not all that. Lee's quite nice. He's sort of like your old sort of karate dude, or kung fu maybe. Ray, who sounds like someone's granddad, just looks a bit shoddy. Musically, this game isn't that pleasant. But as you can see from the graphics, they're kind of alright. They do a Street Fighter 2 style job. So there's sort of semi-digitized background elements, and you've got sort of cartoon drawn characters. Oh, and between rounds, it looks like the weather changes, but it has no effect on gameplay. It's just visual, and the rain here is coming down vertically, 90 degrees to the floor, in the way that rain always does. Okay. You can knock people's clothes off, or partial pieces of their clothes off. I think Ray's lost his electric bolt from his top look, and I believe Lee loses his knees out of his trousers, like he's been sliding along the floor at a disco and worn the knees out of his trousers. Because reasons, not sure. It shows you when you've been in a dizzy state. Which is an odd feature, to be fair. You've got your Street Fighter 2 style commands here. You've got your fireballs. You've got your dragon punches. But you also have like double tap. You can double tap forward, and Ray does sort of a shoulder charge thing. So they do introduce the old double tap directions into the control scheme, which Street Fighter 2 never really did, from what I remember. They always sort of charge back forwards or quarter circles, weren't they? See, Lee lost his knees there. His face looks a bit fucked up, doesn't it? We've got Zazie here. Zazie has some fake out moves. He is a bit rangy too. He's got crazy idle animation. And all the animals of the African savannah are just watching on in amazement as two dudes duke it out to the death, which is, as you'll agree, probably all in order. I believe Fighter's History and Fighter's History Dynamite probably got converted to other home systems at the time, say the SNES. Never played them, don't really like, but the Neo Geo original is fairly pleasant. Like I say, if you're a fan of Street Fighter 2, you'll get lots of fun out of this. And indeed, I believe Capcom actually sued Data East over this game, or the previous game in the series, for being too much like Street Fighter 2. And you can see where they're coming from, but it's not as if Capcom have never ripped anybody off. So they can shove it up their arse, can't they? Shove it up their arse, buddy. This game I bought new, European version, 15 years ago, so it has no relation to the price you'd pay for it these days. which I think is going to be around 100 quid. There's a little combo in there, so you can sort of combo the light punches into hard punches, which is very Street Fighter 2. Basically, I'm not talking about the gameplay much because it is Street Fighter 2. I'll talk about it a bit later. But it is rock hard. The AI can be a pain in the ass, especially for the French dude. I find him very difficult to get past a lot of the time. The music is terrible. The sound effects are okay, and this guy likes to talk about shoes. See? Look at that, he comboed me to death. Don't mess with Zazie. Yeah, I probably paid about 30 quid for this, and it was a brand new cart. It's going to be 100 quid these days. The European version is probably cheaper than the Japanese one? I don't know, I haven't really looked at the prices. Did no research. Oh, that's stunning. A stunning announcement there to the YouTube community. That's a lie. I've seen the Japanese version is about 90 quid. And I don't know if I'd pay that much for this game, to be fair. But it's worth 30. And I imagine the Super Famicom version of this particular game, if it does exist, is probably visually and sonically inferior in every way. So yeah, the original is best, obviously. You can probably emulate this to a high degree of success, although I don't condone the use of emulators, because it's naughty, isn't it? Not that you're depriving Data East of any cash at this point, I wouldn't imagine, if they even exist to this day. There's a guy there, he seems to be, instead of using an umbrella, using a sword to ward off the rain. If you've ever tried to attack rain with a sword, you will know that rain always wins. Just from experience, rain will defeat you every single time. You'll never stop rain with weaponry. We're playing again, picking another character. There's some very unlikable characters. There's one there that looks like Duck King from King of Fighters, and he's not got the personality of Duck King. This young me has a very digitised feeling background. Got line scrolling on the floor, which is a lovely feature. Look, it's a tent. And a heavy bag. So she's training by a waterfall, and you've turned up and she doesn't like it, so she's going to kick the crap out of you. She's got sonic booms like Guile, and she's got a hurricane kick like Guile. She's basically a female Guile, and she's got very muscular legs, like impressive calves. She trains by waterfalls in the evening. There's super special moves in this game. I forget how to do them, but Ray, for instance, the old electric Ray, can do like a super move which involves his shoulder charge with loads of electricity around him, and I forget how to do it. But each character does have one of those type of moves too. So I don't know if this came out before Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but this has a feature in it which was then adopted by Street Fighter 2. So I wonder if there's any counter-suing involved from Data East's point of view. Steal my moves, will you, Capcom? Capcom won this war though, didn't they? Let's face it. No one plays Fighter's history, or even remembers who Data East are these days. Oh look, she's got unicorns flying around her head. Whereas Capcom are still releasing Street Fighter games every 3 minutes. So that's, yeah, they won that battle, didn't they? I mean, SNK don't even make fighting games these days, do they? Yes, they do. Shut up. They just made Samurai Showdown in 3D and King of Fighters. So, but they haven't got their own console anymore, have they? Hey, Capcom kicked their ass on that front. Not that Capcom's got their own console. Don't even know where I'm going with this now. There's some dudes there, look, sitting on a bench, like on a date. having a date and you know, just a romantic sit down, looking over the harbour, and then two blokes turn up to have a fight, and it's like, you know, guy's getting super excited now. He loves sex and violence. There's a guy on a skateboard, which looks too big for him. I battered Ray there. Ray deserved to be battered. I do like the fact that the stages change over the course of the match. We've now got firework display like it's New Year's Eve. So this is a New Year's Eve scrap. Does everybody have their own dizzy sprite? So that's quite groovy. There's lots of little details in this. I mean, the way that it's drawn is a bit odd. And there's some nice stuff in here. There we go. Look, he got me with a super dynamite move. So the computer can do it to you, but I mean, you're going to need to learn the moves to do it to the computer. I guess this came out after Mortal Kombat and stuff, so I guess they were thinking maybe we'll put some super sort of finishing move stuff in there based on that. I don't know. I don't know the chronology. I don't know if Super Street Fighter Turbo came out before this, and they already had super moves, or this came out before it. Got a feeling this is earlier. But Mortal Kombat's definitely had all the fatalities and stuff in it, and way before this, so you can see all the different influences flying backwards and forwards. But yeah, this is the most Street Fighter 2 like game on the Neo Geo, and it's kind of fun. You can get it cheap. Alright, ta-ra.